Good morning everyone. The aim of this video is to give you a very brief overview of AQA English Language Paper 1 Question 2. Now Paper 1 is a 1 hour and 45 minute paper. It's out of 80 marks and you're given one fiction source to read with 5 questions to complete. Now the best order to complete this paper in is in this order. Question 5 first, then question 1, question 4, question 2, and finally question 3. The reason for this is that you get all of the big mark questions and the easy question out of the way first. And that way you've got 80% of the paper completed in the first 3 questions that you answer. A question 2 looks something like this. It asks you to reread a certain section of the text. Now the exam board usually reprints this extract and puts it in your question booklet, which is quite useful. So it looks a bit like the one on the screen. The question asks you to explore the writer's use of language techniques or language devices for a certain purpose. So in this example, we'll be looking at how the writer has used certain language devices to present the student in this extract. Now it's worth 8 marks, which is 10% of the whole exam paper. I'd recommend that you spend 3 minutes preparing and planning this answer, and then 8 minutes writing the response, and you should aim to be writing 2 paragraphs in this time. So in order to get the marks, you need to use accurate subject terminology. So if it's a noun, say it's a noun. If it's personification, say so in your answer, you get marks for that. Now for higher marks, you need to use what's called sophisticated subject terminology. So as an example, you would say it's an imperative verb rather than just calling it a verb. You need to use a range of quotations from within the given lines. Go with a minimum of 2 quotations per paragraph. And then you need to explore and analyse the effect of the device that you're highlighting. So this could be looking at the connotations of a certain word or phrase, or just exploring what effect that particular technique has on the reader. How does it affect your understanding of the text in relation to the question? So this is how I would recommend structuring your answer. Use FEAR. FEAR stands for Focus, Evidence, Analyse and Reader. And what this means is that you focus your response on the question, mentioning the subject terminology used by the writer. For example, in order to describe the student as restless, the writer uses a range of dynamic verbs. For evidence, state the quotation. Direct the examiner to the evidence. Bonus points if you can embed the quotation into your sentence. Next, you analyse the quotation. This is where you explain how it links to the question. In the example that I just used, I would explain how the dynamic verbs show that the student is restless. Here you can dive into connotations of individual words and multiple interpretations of quotations. And then, finally, the reader. How does the use of this device or word affect or change your understanding of the text? Now these are some pretty generic sentence starters that you could use to get you started. And that is about it for question 2. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching and happy revising.